Good evening and welcome to GTV News at 9. I'm your host Brian Ajon and my co-host is
Faith Kirui. On the news making headlines, Churchill attends Maseno University Leadership and Entrepreneurship Forum. Kisumu Governor His Excellency Professor Anyang' Nyong'o book launch at Maseno University Kisumu campus. Insecurity remains to be a challenge that affects many people around Maseno University and its environs. Welcome, and we'll be taking you to our sports news today. Daniel Ndambuki alias Churchill attended Youth Leadership and Entrepreneurship Forum in Maseno University. The event was conceived by a group of fourth-year media students. Our reporter David Kinyanjui with more details.
Maseno University hosted a Youth and Entrepreneurship Forum with the guest speaker being Daniel Ndambuki alias Churchill. The event, which was organized by Genius Media Group, a group of media students at Maseno University, aimed at mentoring and nurturing students with leadership qualities and entrepreneurship skills.
Today we talk about leadership and entrepreneurship. As a leader, there are three things you'll be remembered for. Number one, the problems you created as a leader. The problems. And each one of us is a leader. Whatever category you are a leader. So one of the things you will remember in life for is the problems you created. The second important thing you be created as a leader, and that's where you are heading, is the problems you helped solve.
Young leaders are essential to the running of a country's economy, adding up to the will to start and run a business through entrepreneurship. Reporting for GTV at Maseno University, I am David Kinyanjui.
Kisumu County Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o earlier on launched his book titled Presidential or Parliamentary Democracy in Kenya. A book that has raised eyebrows from both sides of the political divide. Others term it as a beforehand signal to the infamous Building Bridges initiative, while others fully support it as the right way for Kenyans with the prevailing political state of affairs. Our reporter Collins Otuma with the report.
Kisumu County Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o earlier today launched his new book at Maseno University Kisumu City campus. In his new book titled Presidential or Parliamentary Democracy in Kenya, Nyong'o argued that a parliamentary system will improve Kenya political stability as elections under this model are not a cutthroat affair. He dismisses the presidential system as a promoter of tribal political thinking that thrive on ethnic sentiment, fear-mongering, rhetoric and their devil determination to remain in power at all costs. The presidential system of government is bad. It is bad, period, says Nyong'o.
Most people will ask why I wrote this book. And the Vice Chancellor is right. Where did you get the time to write it? These ideas in this book go back to the 1980s.
The event was organized by Book Talk Africa, Department of Political Science, Public Administration and Maseno University fraternity.
This book has since received mixed reaction from many people, as some feel is the right way for the Kenyans, while others view it as a tool that is formed to help in the implementation of BBI initiative reports. Reporting for GTV, I'm Collins Otuma.
We will be back after the break. Welcome back.
Turning to our special report today, insecurity remains to be a challenge that affects Maseno University students. Our reporter Elizabeth Wanjiru made a detailed report for us on that.
Issues of insecurity have been rampant around Maseno University and its environs, ranging from theft of students' property, especially those residing outside the university premises, to physical attacks on students.
It is something that has been historical in nature. The Wanyore community and the Luos community have had historical challenges. They tend to come back and retaliate by a form of militia group called Wanyore clan.
Thank you very much. What suggestion can you give the university?
We need to sit down with them, tell them, in fact, whenever we have any information about insecurity, let us render the same information to the police officer. Let's work together with them.
Well, for today's sports news, our reporter Kennedy Odhiambo is on the ground with sufficient information on sports.
Frisbee is one of the newly introduced games at Maseno University, of which few students know a thing about it. With me here is Maseno University Frisbee captain.
First of all, this is ultimate Frisbee. It's a flying disc game. You see us throwing this is called a disc, a flying disc. This play was initiated back then in United States in 1954 in a town known as New Jersey. And it came to Kenya back in 2010. And in Kenya we have a federation by the name Kenya Flying Disc Association, whereby we have two divisions, the mixed division, that is club division, and also the college division. So here at Maseno University, we have the college division. There are two types of this game. One is called beach ultimate, and we have grass ultimate. The one we are doing here is known as the grass ultimate, and it's being played by 7 aside. The beach ultimate is played 5 aside. And if it is a mixed division, then we talk about the gender sensitivity, whereby we have 4-to-3 ratio. It does not depend on which kind. It can be men 3, women 3, so that we have 7 aside. Yes, so this game, there is no referee, and we are being led by what is called SOTG. That is the spirit of the game, where we have fair-mindedness. You must know the rules of the game, and also the biggest bit of it, that you have to understand your opponent. Any contact, this game is a non-contact game, so any contact initiated in the field, that is a foul. You are allowed to call a foul. But sometimes people are not fair-minded enough. They can say, no, that's not a foul. But the basic thing is you contest. So when I feel like you have called a foul, and I said, no, I didn't catch you. So we have 15 seconds between the two of us. No one is supposed to communicate about this. It's about us. And then we say, no, this was a foul, this was not a foul. So if it is contested, this is a signal for contested, and then the disc is supposed to be going back to where it came from, the immediate person who did have it. But if it is uncontested, then you are allowed to start Korea, wherever. We score at the end zone, like rugby. The only difference is that ours is non-contact. Rugby is a lot of contact. So ours is, you run, and if you are very keen where we are, there's some rectangular mark. So this one, when you score, when you catch the disc here, get that? And then you are in the end zone, then there's a score. Next 2 weeks, where we are going to participate with other colleges doing the same thing. Yeah, my team is a fast growing team. When I started it last year, last semester, that is the 2018-2019 academic year, I had only 2 players. I am proud that I have more than 5 players, committed players. So the team is the fastest growing, being that is a team that there's no referee. So apart from that is being played, you also have to be very mature enough to take responsibility. So there's a lot to learn that cannot be learned maybe in football, netball, and any other game. Yeah, so Maseno University Ultimate Team is growing at a faster rate. We have committed students, and it's also an athletic kind of.
That marks the end of our news bulletin. Thank you for keeping it GTV. I have been your host, Faith Kirui.
And my name is Brian Ajon. For more information, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at GTV News. Good night.
Music Studio.